everybody. Welcome to the VHS show. It's live. It's happening. It's happening right now. With me, as always, the infamous Chris Roberts.
Infamous?
Infamous. He's fired up today, too, folks. So watch out. Don't make him angry. You don't know what you're going to get from him. So we just got to be on our toes. Okay?
Yeah. You don't want to end up like those people in Alabama.
Well, you got your shirt on, so you're all right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, welcome everyone to the VHS show. I'm glad we can get out another episode in this fine summer day. It hasn't been too long, so we're not too far off. But,
yeah.
Glad to be back. This is a live chat, so if you want to lay some comments down, we will see them and we can talk about them. We'll have a good old time. And please, definitely, yes, make fun of Chris Roberts' stuff that he shows. Help me out, because he's always riding high, thinking he's got the best stuff possible.
I don't really have a lot, but I do have a couple of cool things. We'll see.
Yeah, help me set them straight. But thanks again. We already have VHS Mikey in the comments. Thank you, VHS Mikey, for joining us. Big timer sitting in the comments. So
sponsored by Pellegrino for all my paisans out there.
That's good stuff. Expensive, pricey, but
work hard, play hard, Bill.
I have flat water myself with a little bit of lemon. How old are we? Oldest show ever.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome Dean in the chat. Round 2 gaming.
Oh, hey, what's up? Now that's you were at Dean's place.
Oh
correct?
My God, the stories I could tell you. I just spent time with Dean out in Alberta, and that was time of our lives out there. That was great.
Alberta.
Yeah. Yep. So check out the old Instagram, STC Pod Instagram. I've been doing every day that I was away on that trip, a big post of photos and videos and stories every day. And it's been fun. I'm missing today's day. You're going to have to wait another day because Chris Roberts tied me up. So
you're in Bury, right?
What?
You're in Bury? Is that how you say it? Or Barry?
Well, with your accent.
I don't know. No, that sounds more Canadian. So it's Barry then.
Barry, yeah.
Okay. I don't act like I've heard you say it weirder. Now you're trying to flip it around.
No, that's your accent.
Don't they consider Barry accent? I'm in California. We don't have accents.
Here's the deal. That's all.
So, you caught me like one time doing that, and you've been stuck on it ever since.
I hear it every time.
So don't they say Barry? That's the Alabama of Canada, right?
No.
No,
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe they have a lot of rednecks and Barry.
Maybe a little bit, but
yeah, that's what I heard. Because I know a couple of people in that area.
No,
like that's redneck town.
No, we don't.
That's Lower Sackville too. That's another redneck area, right?
Well, that for sure. Lower Sackville, not Upper Sackville.
Not Upper Sackville. What the fuck were you guys thinking? Sackville? Come on, man.
Hey, that's a whole nother province. I'm not answering for that.
That's so fucking stupid, Sackville. I'm not saying America or U.S. doesn't have any stupid cities, but come on, Sackville. Like, I would have never got out of elementary. I would have been making fun of Nutsackville every day, and they would have threw me out of class.
It's funny. I have one of the ways I commute into work, I pass by a famous avenue in Toronto, and it's called Old Comer.
Oh, motherfucker.
And it's funny when the traffic guys on the radio have to say that. We got a big accent up in Old Comer. And stay away from that area. It's a real mess.
Yeah. I'm sure. The entendres are flying. All right, Bill. So briefly, you want to talk about your vacation? Didn't you go from kind of coast to coast almost up there on a train?
Oh, yeah. Well, some would say transcontinental.
Yeah, but you'd be wrong because you didn't go the whole way. So it's semi-transcontinental.
The train is transcontinental.
But you didn't ride the whole way, right?
Mid-transcontinental. Yeah, so I jumped on a train with my littlest, the 12-year-old, and we had a 3.5 day, 3-night train journey across Canada through northern Canada, and it's all sites I've never seen before. Lots of wilderness and just a whole bunch of provinces went by, and then we finally ended up in the most picturesque area of Alberta. Jasper down to Banff is all mountains and glaciers and wild animals and stuff that this guy growing up in Ontario, I've never seen mountain ranges like that. I've been to Quebec and seen the odd mountain, and they say we have mountains here, but they're just hills. So when I went to Alberta, it's just every day
saw real mountains.
Were just filled up with awe at what I was seeing. And our buddy Dean, Round 2 Gaming, set up so many. He's a native Banffite, so he knew everything we should do, and even set up a daily itinerary for us. And this day you're doing this, you're doing that, you're going here.
What exactly, Mikey's asking for your personal Instagram? That's STC Pod or Start to Continue?
STC Pod.
Yeah,
check that out. So yeah, Dean went like above and beyond setting up all these excursions, and we were just in the pocket of the perfect time to be there too, because the cloud or the smoke kind of abated a little bit. We could actually see the mountains and breathe. And then I'm just hearing now, like 2 weeks after we've left, it's just tourist overload there. They're literally having to shut down major park attractions because there's so many people there, and other technical things going on. But
yeah, all you Canadians up there are messing up all our air quality with all your careless campfires or whatever you're doing up there.
Yeah, it's about time we get you back for all the smog and everything.
Well, those New Yorkers didn't deserve that, Bill.
Those
friendly New Yorkers, they're the salt of the earth.
I don't know.
No.
So yeah, man, that was really a trip of a lifetime. I could go on for days and days about it, but check out the Instagram and get a nice quick summary.
Yeah, it looks cool, man.
And we met my eldest, the 19-year-old kid there. She flew out there. So then the three
she
of
wasn't
us,
having that train, right?
No. I mean, it's a big cost to take the train. So she's like, it's not going to be worth it on me. I'm just going to be bored.
Okay, so I imagine you ate a lot. What was you had to eat
God.
something new, right? I mean, what was some local delicacies that you ate?
Very good question. What I ate for the first time, I had Dean took us up to the top of this mountain on a gondola called Sulphur Mountain, and there's a facility up there, a fancy restaurant, and things you can do up there. So up there, I had bison for the first time.
Bison. Oh yeah, that's cool.
Bison.
Yeah, that's good. I had a bison hamburger not too long ago. Go ahead.
First time I had a real old fashioned. Have you had an old fashioned before?
Oh yeah, when I watched Mad Men. I was like, I'm gonna try this. So I googled all the ingredients and I made it. It's pretty good. Get you fucked up pretty fast.
It was so good. Like, not. Oh my god, it was so. But the smoke. Did you have it with the smoke?
No. Well, I mean, next question. Go ahead.
Next question. They fill the cup with smoke and bring it out to you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking if I smoked out or something when I was drinking the old fashioned. I mean, this was years ago, so I might have. I don't know. Was there smoke in the? No, dude. They didn't put no smoke in there. That must be a Canadian thing. They can't do that in bars and shit. You get fire coated or something.
No, that is a look up the.
All right. So what?
Old fashioned.
What are they lighting on fire? How are they getting smoke in there? They got a fucking bee with a beekeeper things, or what's going on?
Well, they got I have no clue, but they got
somebody
smoke
took
there
a drag off a Marlboro and blew it in your cup. Like
no, it was very woody smoke, like an oaken. Well, they're smoking stuff on the grill, I imagine. So they
just set your drink next to the barbecue for a little bit.
I put it on my story. You get the cup and it has a lid on it.
I saw it, but I didn't. I didn't realize what I was seeing. I thought it was just a frosty glass or something.
Yeah, so that whole dinner was just fantastic. It was so good.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
all right. Now let me ask you. No joking. Being serious here. Do you guys eat moose up there? Is that something people eat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Moose meat sausages. You hear a lot of that. People have
Is
moose meat
it
sausage.
gamey or?
I've never had it myself.
You've never had moose?
Nope.
Well, why wouldn't you have it?
I don't know. I just never have.
You can't go down to your local Canadian McDonald's and get a moose burger?
No. Oh my God. Yeah, the McDonald's that's in the igloo, you mean? They serve the
No, but overseas they give you mayonnaise in France. There's in China or Japan or whatever, they mix in egg rolls and shit or whatever. I mean, they take on in certain regions, they add extra stuff. It's not all universal, is all I'm saying.
As Dean says, it's gamey. Maybe that's why I've always heard of it being used in sausage.
Yeah, I mean, typically deer is gamey, and I mean, they're not that far off from a deer. I mean, obviously they're way bigger and fucking frightening. Those things can chase you underwater, and they're faster than you. They can swim better. They can dive deeper. Like, if a moose wants you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I think I just saw a video of a moose taking on a bear, and the bear did not win.
Yeah. Well, they're big, too. I mean, like a full-grown, like a big moose, those things are pretty intimidating. I wouldn't be messing around with them. They're funny to make fun of, but you guys don't really ride moose, right? That was just Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm asking serious questions here. People want to know this.
Totally. Yeah. No,
I don't know. Well, why not? They kind of have they resemble a horse a little bit.
They are a wild animal, I think.
Yeah, but so were horses at one point.
No, I've never heard of anyone.
Though, that horses at one point were just animals that roamed the plains.
Yes.
And somebody threw a rope around it and decided to domesticate it. You could have done the same thing with a moose in theory. They ride camels. Why is that such a crazy question?
Mm-hmm.
They're not that far removed. Camels, moose, horses, they're all similar.
Yeah, I know. You have to look that one up.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so then fucking Rocky and Bullwinkle lied to me then. I swear that one guy rode a moose. Dudley Do Right. All right. Go ahead. Well, did you get any souvenirs? Like non-tape related stuff? Did you get any Canadian souvenirs? Nothing. You went on this big journey and didn't bring home one souvenir.
I got a shirt. That's about it.
All right.
Like you said, that's full of tchotchkes. That's everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but you could have hit a thrift store or an antique store it didn't have to necessarily be like Alberta coffee mug or something. It could have been anything's a souvenir.
There was a thrift store there. Dean took us to a thrift store, and
you're
right. There probably was something I should have brought back. They had vintage Parks Canada uniforms that looked like Girl Scout uniforms that they used to wear back in the day.
Okay,
that would have been fun to bring back. But
what were you done with that?
Exactly. That's why I didn't buy it. But now you're telling me I should have bought something.
I'm telling you should have bought something. Yeah, you go on a long trip like that. It
said Banff on it, so I got a Banff shirt.
It's Banff, B-A-M-P.
Banff
with an F or
2 F's.
That's a town.
Yeah, you must have heard of Banff. It's like
why would I hear of Banff?
It's world famous destination.
Okay, Banff. All right.
I know you are a bit jaded because you do live within the mountains as well. So
yeah, I mean, I get it. There's probably something really pretty up there, but I mean, we honestly, and I'm not saying this, but I live near a real destination point. I mean, people from all over the world come to Yosemite. You've heard of Yosemite, so
yeah. Well, most people have heard of Banff too.
Nobody's heard of Banff. The Queen of England has gone to
Banff.
Yosemite. Right. No, she hasn't gone to Banff.
Yes,
the Queen of England? No, she has not.
Dean, get in there. Actually, Dean's reminding me I did pick up some Rocky Mountain vinegars and oil.
All right. See, there you go.
Have you ever done this where you mix like balsamic vinegar in like sparkling water?
Not water.
Yeah, like if you were to
But
mix,
you drink it.
yeah, if mix it in your San Pellegrino there.
So if I
And
put some balsamic vinegar in this,
well, flavored balsamic, like they had all kinds of flavors, like orange and peach
what?
and
I've
all this
never heard
stuff.
of this.
And you put
We get
some
like
of that in sparkling water, and it turns into the most flavorful like soda you've ever tasted in your life. And you're like, this is vinegar? Crazy. So I had to buy that.
I don't even know where to get flavored balsamic vinegar. I go to Italian places. It's just basic balsamic vinegar. I mean, aged and stuff, but it ain't no flavors.
I think this place was called Evolution. Evolution.
They'll hike the same mountain as the Queen. Come on.
That's true. Yeah, I did a couple mountains too.
All right. I don't think the Queen's up there hiking, but go ahead.
Did you see the accommodations, the giant castles in the photos I was showing for hotels here? Like that's world famous hotelering, right?
Okay. You ever heard of Half Dome or the giant Sequoia Forest? Never heard of any of this stuff. No, Yosemite Valley, El Capitan. Come on, get out of here, dude.
I'm sure you guys burnt all that down to make Dodges and Ford Mustangs.
No, we don't. That's all protected. It does have fires now and then though, because of all you Canadians throwing out cigarettes when you come to visit it.
Yeah, we'll have to do that more.
Yeah.
But yeah, look into this balsamic vinegar business. It was mind-boggling. It was mind-boggling the taste it made.
So now this is your life now. You're going to be getting different balsamic vinegars to add to your mineral water?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this place will ship, so for free too. So check them out.
Not to the States.
Yeah, we're not like you guys where we refuse to ship to the States. Like a lot of American.
You guys are the ones with the surcharges. It isn't us. You guys are the ones that kick up that price. We ship. I've shipped some of the heaviest things across the country for like $8.
No, well, we're not talking about price. But Dean, put that company in the chat there so Chris can buy from them. It's worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
Although drinking balsamic vinegar will kick you out of your fast if you're intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Got a little bit of sugar in it or something?
I don't know. Something about just has a few calories, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. If your goal is to reduce calories, I mean, I know the fasting deal, but this isn't the fast podcast, but I think you're going to be fine if you're trying to lose weight and your only vice is balsamic vinegar. I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so what do you got going on behind you? You got, is that the game that's on right now?
This is 2003 National League divisional playoffs between the Cubs and the Braves. So I believe that's Sammy Sosa right there. Sosa? Yeah, it is. There's Sammy. Not as quite roided up. This was the team. This isn't the series, though. That would be the next series. I think they beat Atlanta in this. The next series, I wish it was the next one because that's the Bartman game coming up where that poor guy was in the stands and he reaches up to get the ball and they could have had the out and everybody blamed him for the collapse, even though they were making like 5 other errors that inning and their pitcher gave up 9 runs or whatever it was, but somehow this poor bastard became the focal point. So much so that even the governor said that that guy should get out of town.
I remember.
Seriously, I'm like, dude, how did these people not get sued? If that guy would have been killed, you know what I mean? Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Poor bastard. And he's a big fan, too. It was like the highlight of his life to get those seats. Yeah. He was so happy. And he did what every other person in the stands would have done. You look up, you see the ball coming, and you stick your glove out. You know what I mean? You
don't know where you are in relation to the wall.
And it wasn't like he was extended over the wall. I mean, a little bit, but not much. It wasn't like he was fully extended and slapped a Moises out of the way. Who the hell names their kid Moises either? Like, that's what he should have been mad about. He should have been mad at his parents for naming him Moises.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry if anybody's listening named Moises. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. It's got commercials on it. It has some football at the beginning too. I just got it today. Paid $0.25 for it. Not bad. You know, and the thing is, it's always good to talk to the thrift stores, right? Because they were throwing these things away. So I was talking to them. I was like, no, put them on the shelf. I'll buy them, you know. And at their quarter price, you know, I'll even eat 50, 75, a couple bucks, you know what I mean? I don't mind buying them even if I don't need them, just to keep them going because it's a cheap investment, you know what I mean? But there's already been some fun commercials on it, a couple of Bud Light commercials and whatever the hell's going on in this one. Let me see. Dentine Fire. That lasted, didn't it?
Yeah, that was around for a while.
Yeah. I think the ice is still around, right? Well, maybe fire's still around. I don't know. Oh, it is a cinnamon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I grabbed a couple things. I also stopped at the Catholic Charities. Initially, this tape was Little Women, you know, one of your all-time favorites. And but they taped over it on 4/8/2005. And believe me, this is boring as hell. And I'm actually shocked that there's commercials on it, though. I was only fast-forwarding a little bit through it. But the funeral of Pope John Paul II. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah.
There can't be commercials in that.
There is. Not in the beginning part. Like, obviously, when they're doing all the Hail Marys and the All Fathers and all that shit, that goes on forever. But eventually, that guy stops talking, and they're like, yeah, we're going to take a commercial real quick. It was all, like, old person medicine shit, you know.
Wow.
I didn't see anything worth anything. But, oh, yeah, there was some banking commercials. And
no, we would not insert commercials into a big funeral like that. That's CNN. You don't do that. Well, the Queen's funeral, that was sustaining.
Well, now the Queen, the Queen was no funeral. There's been some I've seen with no commercials, but I don't know, that one had commercials on it. I could pop it in and show you. I'm not lying.
I'm thinking of the sponsor that wants a funeral. Get me right in there as soon as that casket rolls by.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I'm sure it drew pretty good ratings, though, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thinking that dude might pop up out of the coffin.
Okay.
Bringing him in that Pope mobile and all that.
Mm-hmm.
All these poor people, too. Can you imagine? You go to this place and they're wearing dresses or gowns or whatever the hell you call their outfits that are worth more than your house, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they need you to donate more. Anyway, also got this Fast Times at Richmond High. You know, they do I always try to throw them a few coins. So I don't think I have this on VHS. I would probably prefer the earlier copy because this is a later one where it's MC Universal.
I like that cover. Let's see that cover.
Oh, yeah. And this used to belong to Katie. So, Katie, if you're watching and you want it, come and get it.
I like that graphic.
Yeah, it's not bad. Got a little bit on the back. Of course, you know, if you watch the movie, oh, yeah. There's the scumbag of the movie, right? He became the villain. Right?
You know, Rat, I'm kind of busy right now. I got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, put on Led Zeppelin 2, side 2 or whatever.
Yeah, and then they played something that's not on there.
Well, they probably couldn't get the rights.
Well, I got the Zeppelin, but not the Zeppelin.
Yeah, but they're like, you know what? We want you to play this B-side shit from a different album. Also picked this up. It's got a bad cover, but I'm going to throw this in my $2 tape bin whenever I go. But it's the Freddy's Nightmares. It's kind of neat because it's got that little raised, I don't know, I forget what they call that, but I guess it's just raised. You can kind of see it. Embossed. There you go. A little bit of embossing there.
Yeah, it's a cool cover.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, it'd be a lot cooler. But you know what happened is someone tries to take the stupid sticker off. But listen, if you guys are out there, don't do this shit. All right? Like, either leave the sticker or get your shit together and know what the fuck you're doing. Okay, you got to put a lot of heat on it to get the glue off. And if it's not coming off easy, then just stop. What would you rather see on this? The sticker or that shit? You know what I mean?
Wow.
But you know, for $2, somebody would buy this. I'll throw it in there. I got it for a quarter, so you know. And if not, whatever. I'll give it to somebody who needs it. One other thing. I got this Belushi. Belushi and Schwarzenegger. I wasn't quite sure if I don't know. I'm pretty sure I already have it, but it's a really nice copy. It still has the shrink wrap on it. And now, mind you, this isn't even like I don't even remember liking this movie.
I liked that movie as a kid.
Did you?
Funny.
I have to rewatch. Yeah. I remember
Super
being
funny.
Disappointed, and I was a big Schwarzenegger fan.
Because he's busting his chops the entire movie, so it's pretty funny.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I can't remember why I didn't dig it, but I don't know. Maybe I rewatched it I haven't watched it since. So there you go. Nice copy, really clean. So I'll do the comparison to see if this is better than mine, and then the other one will go into the thing. And I got 3 other items. I'll save 2 of them. I'll show you one more. This is a DVD. I've been wanting to rewatch this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't necessarily remember it being great, but it's kind of a cool sci-fi horror movie. Event Horizon. You ever seen this movie, Bill?
God, I'd like to say I have, but I can't remember anything about it.
Now, there's a director's cut that's supposed to be a little bit better, or a producer's cut, or some other various cut. So this isn't it. If I want that, I think I have to buy the Blu-ray. But I don't know. I remember liking it, but I think it kind of fell off at the end. But it was very, like, it almost had a Hellraiser vibe to it. You know, like, it was very graphic and gruesome and everything. So, I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to rewatching it. I'll probably pop it in before I go to bed tonight. Give me something to dream about. So, yeah, got that for $1. Anyway, I got a couple other things here, but we'll wait. I also, at some point, I'm going to pop this tool tape in. I showed it on the last podcast,
right?
But I didn't pop it in and see if this is the show that I was from. Because if this is from Fresno, okay, it's almost surely the one I was at. Because I'm not saying Tool only came once, but being the age of the tape, this would have been the one I went to, I believe. And I would be able to tell because it was only Tool the whole time. It was about a 2.5-hour concert. And he also did the Perfect Circle stuff too, which I think that's what he's doing right now.
Why, when you put the tape in, your TV said lecture?
Because when you unplug it and plug it in, it asks you what language, and I'm going to unplug it. So I just hit a button, and instead of going up to English, I must have went down to French. You being French, you should know what lecture means, right?
Talking? I can't see it.
Mm.
Why would it say lecture? That's still.
I don't know. Does that mean stop?
Yeah, that means stop for sure.
Okay.
So lecture
that must mean play.
No way.
Okay,
Lecture
well, here's play. Rewind, Reb.
I don't know about that.
Here's fast forward. I guess that's AC, AV, space, ACC. I don't know. Listen.
Acceleration.
I didn't make the fucking TV, Bill. I just I didn't hit up when I should have, and now it's going to be stuck in French mode unless I get the remote or I unplug it and put it back in.
It might not be French. You know, a lot of languages are derived from French.
It asked. I read the thing. It said up for fucking French.
Calm down. Chris is getting punchy. I told you guys. He's on fire.
I'm just telling you. I actually read it. This isn't the first time I've done this. So this is the beginning when these people started recording. I'm hoping they'd be like, hey, Fresno, fuck's going on? Maybe this is when they would do it. Let's see. Oh, who's this guy? Oh, the crowd ain't liking him. They booed his ass.
I'll tell you what, let's give Timmy his dying wish.
Hey, that's that one dude. It's like that actor guy. Oh, man, he just... Oh, did you hear that? That didn't age well. He said, fuck you, you effing homosexual slur. Listen to that.
Are you looking forward to going to heaven and talking to Jesus? not going to heaven.
Can you hear that?
I'll tell you what, let's give Timmy his dying wish. He's got about 30 minutes left. Here's the 2 you fucking faggot.
Like what? I don't remember that. That was a little out of line there, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Only in Fresno.
I don't know if this is in Fresno because I don't remember that. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I was too buzzing because I took my son, but I went with my friend. So when we went to this concert, Bill, I don't know if this is the one. My friend was kind of an asshole, right? Well, he was a complete asshole. So we, right when we get there, he's claiming to be hungry. So he goes and stands in line and buys this nachos. And he paid like $10 for this really crappy nachos. All it was cheese and chips. And so we didn't have the greatest seats. It wasn't the worst seats, but it was kind of like on the second layer. You know, we weren't in the mosh pit. I had my son. I wasn't gonna go down there and I'd be fighting everybody down there if they're hitting my kid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was either mosh and general seating or you sat in seats and it tiered up, right? So we were probably in like the second tier. So we're walking around this bowl, you know, just kind of walking around it to get to the other side. And the concert starts. So the lights are like flickering on and off. So they're like dark, bright. You know, it's just doing this flickering stuff, like whatever was happening at the beginning of this concert. I don't know if this is the one, but prior to that, I hear him bitching about these chips. Like, oh, they're cold. Oh, this stuff tastes like shit. Okay, he walked by like 5 trash cans, Bill. Instead of putting it in the trash can, he decided to reach back and chuck these nachos up in the air. And I'm watching them, and, you know, I'm trying to track them, but, you know, of course, it's going dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. And you're seeing it go down towards the mosh pit, you know. He ruined somebody's night, man. Can you imagine the poor bastards down there that just gets nacho shit all over him? Yeah. It had to be a miracle for it to go between all those people because they're packed in like sardines down there, you know.
That guy sounds like a psychopath.
Yeah, he was. He used to have this move because he had gotten a car wreck in his early 20s and knocked out his front teeth. So he had like a partial thing. He had a really short temper. So we'd go somewhere and, I don't know, somebody pissed him off. He'd be like, you know, oh, let's go, motherfucker. You know, get all, you know, he went from 0 to let's do this really quickly. And he had the coolest move, though, dude. He'd pop his front teeth out and put them in his pocket. I don't know, man. If somebody did that to me and it looked like that guy, I'd be like, sir, I must have offended you. Let's work this out. How about I buy you a drink or something? You know what I mean? Like, you know, but anyway, I'm not sure this is it, but I'll check back in with the audio later. What did you get lately, Bill?
Well, I wanted to congratulate you. Another episode of the Retro Nonsense podcast came out.
Oh, yeah. What did you think about it?
It was a good time. Again, Chris Roberts getting a little punchy, but that's all fun. Poor Duke having to, you know, ride the wave of Chris Roberts' aggression, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. You must have a little more feedback than that.
No, it was good. I was going to pull a whole bunch of tapes of very expensive movies that probably cost more than the Indiana Jones movie, but
right.
Get around to it.
Yeah, I mean that nothing against Duke because he didn't mean nothing. Well, what do I care if he wants to go at Disney? It don't matter to me. But that was like the 3rd or 4th time, just like that week, I had heard somebody try to make this argument of why this movie was such a big failure, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the times was a secondhand thing, but it was my friend's grandmother went to see, I don't even want to say the name of this fucking movie. Went and see this movie, and instead of coming back talking about how much she liked the movie, she was comparing how much it made to what Indiana Jones made, and I'm just like, what? Like, why is that the standard? And then no matter what, no matter how you slice it, the movie still has made like $160 million. It doesn't matter its profit margin. It's about how many people actually went and bought a ticket and sat through the movie. They don't care if people enjoy it. I mean, they prefer it because then more people might see it, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I think by now it's already made its money back. Plus,
if nothing else, it's made its budget. And then plus there's always the back end of it, you know, DVD, Blu-rays, streaming on, you know, there's going to be a bunch of people like you who don't go to theater to watch it, but are going to watch it on Disney Plus.
Well, there's even the window before that where the other streamers, it's available to rent on the other streamers,
right? Like Amazon, things like that, $3.99 stuff, right?
Yeah. So there's that second window, and then
I mean, is it a success from their point of view? No, it's not. They overspent on the budget. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. People are dunking on it because of the budget. I mean, granted, good. These studios are out, and then when there's a lower budget movie that does really well, everybody's like, oh, applauding them. Well, if they had more money, they would have had a bigger budget too. They just didn't have it. You know what I mean? You got a company that's throwing everything at a movie, and they think that, I don't know. I can't imagine. I watched the movie, and it's not like there was like tons of these huge set pieces. I mean, there were some for sure. But there was a lot of CGI and everything. So I guess that stuff just keeps going up in cost. Plus, part of the reason things aren't looking so well is there's only so many companies that do that. And everybody's going to them and they're having these short windows on them. Whereas something like Lord of the Rings, they had like 6 years to make those movies. You know what I mean? To get them all perfected before they went out. And they were still doing them as the ones were in theater. They were still up doing the next one, right? So they had there was a better system in place. That's why some of these movies age better, like Terminator 2 or Jurassic Park or whatever. And some of these aren't going to age well because they're not putting in the time, But frankly, if the CGI makes or breaks the movie for you, then maybe you're watching the wrong kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like, if the story, let me ask you this, Bill. You ever watch a movie that had the shit boringest story, but they had this great CGI, so you love this, you know what I mean? Like, you don't fucking care. You want a movie that you enjoy. So, yeah, if you watch the movie and the CGI's a little off, well, okay. Shit, we grew up when our CGI was laughable. Go back and watch Poltergeist. When you know what I mean? Like, the practical stuff looks amazing, but their little CGI where hands are coming out of the TV and all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, that stuff, it's silly. We got a question from our really good friend Kevin down there.
Hey, Kevin's good to hear from my old pal Kevin.
Do you guys even collect anymore, bro?
It's Chris Roberts. He bullies you. And he
bullies me.
He says you do not. It's like when you're a movie theater, and you have Disney movies and you have independent movies, and you want to play the independent movie, but Disney says if you don't play my movie in all your theaters, you're never getting another Disney movie. It's kind of like
is that what's happening? See, I remember it quite differently. We had a cohesive group that was coming together. But one of us had a schedule that couldn't make it all the time. And Bill keeps like, whoa, we got to cater to this guy. Let's make sure we have him on the show. And that was how it is.
Yeah,
Well, you are a real collector, Kevin. You got your Blu-rays and your, I don't know, coffee mugs. I don't know. What do you got, Kevin? You got to have something.
I was going to make a counterpoint to your CG talk.
Go ahead.
About a bad movie with great CG. I have sat through and even bought the 4K because I am weird like that. The War of the Worlds movie with Tom Cruise. Right. The effects are so stunning and the sound is so amazing. But a lot of the plot, you just want to. But it's so hard to watch.
Fair, but my point is that one of your favorite movies, or is that a guilty pleasure kind of thing to watch?
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
difference.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you enjoy watching the movie because you like what you're seeing. I get that. But
Yeah.
the opposite, if it was a great movie and you loved the movie, but they had, one of these DH things that look like shit, right? Whatever, Luke Skywalker or whatever the big critique, the big complaints over the years, right? Is that going to ruin the whole movie is all I'm saying. If they made a Godfather 4 that was a masterpiece, but they decided to bring in a cameo from Brando and they dubbed and it didn't look great, is that going to ruin the whole movie? Or are you just going to be like, for instance, Sopranos? Yes. I just rewatched the series recently.
Nice.
Rewatch the whole series. I mean, I've done this many times. Every few years I get in the mood and I start watching it. Okay. Go watch season 3, episode 2, when Tony's mother dies. That's the worst CGI you're ever going to see. Now, does that ruin the whole series now? The Sopranos is shit because they had the worst CGI in the history of television? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a stupid argument, or it's a lazy argument. Now, if the movie wasn't that great to begin with and had bad CGI, well, of course, then the movie sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But you make a good point, though. There are some movies that are fun to watch just for the CGI. And I do like War of the Worlds for that reason. I don't think the plot's great. It's okay. It's not the worst.
Kids.
I know, but I know the brother got to go off and be and like 6 minutes later, he's a fucking army veteran and shit, like.
And the girl.
I know.
It's all so frustrating to watch.
No. I get it. I get it, but it is a sci-fi action movie, right? So it does lower the bar a little bit of what you thought it could have been. In my mind, going into something like that, I hope it's going to be great, but I'm settling for good in a lot of those movies. Like, I mean, let's be honest. You go back and watch Commando. That's not a great movie. It's a really good action movie, but it ain't a great movie. It's just not. I rewatched it recently, and it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, they had to feed him line for line, I think, because he's just like, okay, I will do this. You know what I mean? Like, somebody's sitting there holding something on the other side, I swear. It's the worst, but, I mean, that kind of adds to the charm. Yeah, Tom Cruise, he's good.
Yeah, I accidentally opened the window for Kevin to get in there with a Tom Cruise snark, even though Cruise is at the top of his game and has not had a bad movie in quite a while.
I rewatched Color of Money recently. I love that movie. It's a really good movie.
I need to watch that again. That's been a while.
Now, have you ever watched? Because it's a sequel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the first time I watched it, I didn't realize it was a sequel because I don't know. I was probably like 11, and I never saw The Hustler. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But so I just watched it as a movie, and just as what it is, it's great. But then, like, had you watched it like that, like I did, and then later on, I was like, what? I heard that it was a sequel, and then I heard what the movie was, and so I went and watched The Hustler, which, it's a good movie. I think The Color of Money is a much better movie than The Hustler, but I do like The Hustler. But it adds another level to it that it's like this undercover sequel that I didn't realize was a sequel. I don't even know. Did they even market it as a sequel? I'm not even sure.
I think it was known.
But, I mean, it's not like it's the Hustler 2. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's its own movie.
I don't know. I feel like I've definitely seen The Hustler within the last couple of years. I don't remember last time I saw The Color of Money. I remember nothing of that, but I remember The Hustler.
The Color of Money is awesome, dude. The dynamic between
George C. Scott, this guy on the side. Oh, it's good stuff.
No, it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I like The Hustler, but if I had the choice of which one to watch, I'm gonna watch The Color of Money. And plus, Tom Cruise's girlfriend's a knockout in that movie. And what blew my mind about it is I didn't even realize who she is. You know what other movie that she did?
Who is it?
I can't tell you her name, but you must visualize her face, right? She kind of has like a little bit of a curly hair and everything.
Was she in The Abyss? Is it that?
Nope.
That girl?
Oh, maybe she is, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Am I looking it up right now to see? Yeah,
well, of course you are.
She was in The Abyss.
Yeah, but
No.
that's not that's not what blew my mind, because she's a white girl in both of those. You know what she was before? She was Tony Montana's sister in Scarface.
Huh.
Which is a trip to me. I don't know. Like, in one, she's like, I don't know what her real heritage is. I don't know if she's putting on a white thing or she's putting on well, you missed out, man. You should have stuck with it.
His Tom Cruise bigotry is
It's fine. I'm not trying to cater to Kevin's likes or dislikes. I understand, Kevin. You got a particular kind of movie you like.
He accidentally felt something when he watched Cocktail or something, and now he refuses.
Yeah, I like Cocktail. Now, that's a guilty pleasure movie to me. I don't think it's a great movie, but I enjoy it. I'm kind of a sucker for what's her face too, Karate Kid girl.
Was
Elizabeth
she
too? Yeah.
She was in that? Oh man,
she's his girlfriend.
No, I can't remember anything about that movie either.
It's weird too, because when you watch that movie, it feels like there was 3 different writers on that movie, because there's like this beginning thing was kind of like this young man coming home from the war, and now he's trying to or from the military service, and now he's trying to find a job, and he's getting turned away at all these things because he has no experience, and then he ends up in a bar, and then there's there's a next stage of the movie where it's all this bartender shit, right?
Yeah.
And then it caps the movie off with like this love triangle drama, plus him getting back with this girl that he cheated on because he's so dumb that he had to take a bet and whatever. So it's like 3 different movies going on, but I don't know. I like it. It's a good movie.
Good.
It's got a great soundtrack too, man. Beach Boys,
Yeah. You ready for some VHS?
Who doesn't like Kokomo?
Are you ready for some VHS? This is the VHS show. Actually, the best part of the last Retro Fandango episode was you guys trying to figure out what this was actually called.
Oh yeah, they're trying to. What is it called?
Title the VHS show.
No, it says VHS Live.
Show live. All right, today's pickups. I found a couple of things today. You want to see that?
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay. I don't know anything about this movie, but I love me the Gene Wilder. I think the guy is a genius. Genius. Hanky Panky with his. I don't know if he was married to her at this time.
Yeah, I was just say he's been in a few things with Gilda, has he not?
Yeah, a couple things.
Well, it makes sense that they were married.
He fell in love with every co-actress he ever worked with.
Wow. I mean, look at that guy. He wasn't getting any tail in high school.
Great autobiography if you're looking for something to read or to listen to. He narrates his autobiography, and he does it so eloquently and charmingly. It's amazing. Gene Wilder. It's on Columbia. Hanky Panky. And it was from Talese, and they have the worst stickers. Like, this thing is on there like mad. Hate their stickers. Let's throw this in, see what's in there. And I haven't seen this before. It kind of caught my eye. You ever seen Fievel Goes West?
I've never watched the movie, but that's a unique cover. That looks like a screener or something.
That's what I thought. But if you look closely, it says promotional trailer.
Well, similar.
It's just the trailer on here, but this, they were, from reading the back, I guess is what they were trying to attract the retailers to pick this up. So as everything you can get.
It kind of feels like they've cheapened up a little bit, because typically they gave the retailers a full screener copy with the whole movie. So they were just like, yeah, we're not going to do that no more. Here's just the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Kevin's not a fan of Fievel Goes West.
This, well, come on. That was a good one. Fievel Goes West. Yeah. It's got some big reel.
That's a sequel, right? Isn't that
Yeah, that's the
American
sequel.
Tail or whatever the hell it's called? What's it called?
Yeah, an American Tail.
American Tail, right?
Because
that's it's actually the subheader, right? Isn't it American Tail 5 of Us Goes West? Or
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who the major veteran American actor is. James Stewart has a voice in 5 of Goes West.
Oh yeah.
So, and was
Kevin
it George
likes
C.
American
Scott
Tail, so that's good.
Was that the next one?
What's that?
Was George C. Scott voicing in this one as well, or is it just?
I don't know, man.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Chris Roberts upset.
No, I don't know. I just George C. Scott. You, what is it with you and these old?
I love George. I'll watch
bloated
anything
actors.
Yeah. Let me rewind that and see what this looks like.
Anything, huh?
Anything
with George C. Scott.
Anything. They're all good, man. I don't know if this is a second copy for me, but it was in such great shape. And I'll make things up like Chris Roberts. This is a first run copy right here, so I definitely had to pick that up.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. That kicks ass. Back to the George C. Scott thing. You ever seen The Exorcist Part 3?
I think so. I don't remember anything about it.
I you know what? It's not actually a bad movie. It's not a great movie, but there's something that's kind of good about it. It's kind of, if your expectations are low, it exceeds them. If your expectations are high, then it's terrible. That kind of movie. But George is in it. Now he's like this old detective, right? The problem with it, Bill, is he goes home and he kind of has like a youngish wife and a kid and everything. It's like, what the hell? You look like you're 70, dude. It reminded me of them putting De Niro in the Irishman movie where he's all like old and they're trying to de-age him. They should have de-aged George C. Scott because he looks like he's ready for the grave and he's trying to play like this younger man. I'm like, dude, at best, you're like 59. You know what I mean?
The guy just exudes testosterone. No lady can, resist
right
it.
But I mean, he's not producing enough. That kid can't be his. Come on, there's no chance. No, you are 100% correct, Kevin. Part 2 is complete trash, and Mikey, you're all right. It does have a cult following, and I actually do like the film. But when I rewatched it recently, I watched the I don't know if it's a director's cut or producer's cut. It's a weird cut. Let me tell you, don't watch that cut. I fell asleep. It was that bad. And they did this weird thing where in the movie, I remember when they're in the cell and they're in this mental hospital and this serial killer's in there, and it keeps flashing back and forth between the priest from the first movie. The face keeps changing. In this cut, they never changed the face, so it was the serial killer the whole time. And it's like, what? That was the big cool part, was the fact that the priest was back from the first movie, that he actually survived his fall, and the serial killer somehow was, possessing him or whatever, along with some other, I don't know, demon or something. Anyway, sorry if that ruins the plot for you guys, but let me tell you, just watch the regular theatrical cut, because the other cut, I was wanting to watch it. I purposely bought the DVD just because I heard that cut was on it, and I want my $1.50 back. You know what I mean? It was horrible.
As I see Hanky Panky playing behind me, it's directed by Sidney Poitier, so that's pretty cool. How come I've never heard of this one?
It was on some films. Okay.
Today's pickups.
Yeah.
It goes quite well with I already have the sealed copy of Pantheus
now you get to watch it. Huh?
I found it on the Blues, on the Blu-ray. A big edition with the booklet and the soundtrack and the movie. Digital.
When's the last time you've watched that movie?
I was a kid, man, and it was on someone's pay-per-view. That's how
Yeah.
long ago. So I'm really interested to see.
I only
what it's
remember
like now.
two particular scenes from it. One where I don't know, he stands up and farts in front of everybody, and they're like brilliant or something, or maybe I'm remembering that wrong. And then at the other one, you've seen the movie, right?
What?
You've
Me?
seen it though, right? I'm not gonna.
I don't
ruin
remember
anything.
anything about it. So
Well,
don't
you know that Amadeus dies, right?
Well,
In real life. Okay. Well, they have him in the coffin, and they go to take him to. You think they're gonna bury him, and then they lean it up, and the little fucking trap door opens, and they slide his ass off into like a pit. I don't know. I guess that's when they were still throwing people in pits, maybe the Black Plague or something. I don't really know, but I just remember thinking like, "What the? I wasn't ready for that."
That seems familiar. I'm remembering.
Those are the only two things I remember: is him farting and all the powdered wigs and all that crap.
At the end of the Five Goes West trailer, they're saying all the movies it goes with. Apparently, King Ralph, Land Before Time.
So like a wine and cheese kind of thing.
What?
Like a wine and cheese kind of thing. Like if you like this, watch.
Well, they're trying to sell it to the retailer, right?
Piggyback it with
You get this, people are going to
Casper.
want to buy this.
Yeah. King Ralph is what they recommended.
Yeah, I guess so. You'd like this. This little
What do I
pickup
like?
I grabbed.
Let's see.
I found a full.
Those are good.
What do you call this? Full cake of tapes.
I wouldn't call it that, but okay.
A full
pack.
Yeah, pack.
How about a pack? What's wrong with a pack?
Boring. I don't know. A full.
I think you've been fasting too much and you're hungry. You're sugar deprived.
What do you? So, would you put that right on eBay, or would you keep?
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm bad at this because I have a whole tub of them in the garage that I should have on eBay. But if you get it cheap, those are nice profit. You can probably sell that for like you can probably sell that for like 20 to 30, maybe a little bit higher depending on the quality or the grade.
Wow, these are good tapes.
Right.
So I should ask 30 on eBay for the whole deal?
Well, obviously you have to compare the market, but yeah. I mean, maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower, but you know how to do eBay, dude.
All right. Well, just checking with the king.
Kevin says that he watched King Ralph in the movie theater. What do you think of that?
Yeah. Okay.
So you got some T2 there?
Yeah. So I needed this to finish subset complete on the Turtles movies. So that might end up at a table.
Oh, you're violating a trademark when you say that. So
yeah.
you owe Curtis $3.
Well, the old subset. They might end up at a table at the very game exchange for a really good price, by the way. Look for that. Okay. Now we're getting to this box of wonders that we have yet to get to because we've had not too many shows this season so far. So
it's all your fault.
Here we go. I don't remember what's in here, but I know there's some fun stuff, and I'm going to start with one right now. This movie. This is wild. This movie that this exists. First of all, it's being distributed by Family Time. Family Time in Canada.
I don't know why you're covering it. We saw it's a Richard Donner movie, so
yeah, Richard Donner directs. It's with Charles Bronson. So ring any bells? Statutory Affair.
Oh no.
With Susan George. Now Susan George she's a fox.
Yeah, I mean, is she what, 16, 17? What's with the statutory thing? Is that a more technical term?
Let me read it to you. No, it's as
okay, go ahead.
Donner directs this bittersweet tale of a May-December romance between a 16-year-old British girl and a 40-year-old American writer. They have an affair, they marry, and have to deal with problems ranging from, and then the sticker covers the rest up.
Yeah, ranging from the fucking police knocking on the door.
That it's
they might have been in Tennessee or Kentucky or something. It's totally legal there.
Weird? Is this not the weirdest thing?
You know what's weird is the age of consent in some of these states are still like 14.
Look at the label. Family Time Statutory Affair.
Yeah, nobody wanted to put their fucking company name on that movie.
What the heck? Dick Donner, man. He was radical back in the day.
And you bought it.
I had to buy this. This is incredible. I'm a big Susan George fan, too.
All right. Easy.
And then we have, of course, some recorded at home tapes. This one says it has Monsters Inc. on it. I don't know.
No.
Uh,
Probably a dub, but you don't know.
This one says blank, but here it says
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, you're quick, man. Wizard of Oz.
I can
Who
read.
knows which broadcast that is? Let me, throw that in somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, 9 times out of 10, that's a broadcast, which is cool. I mean, it's very unlikely that's a tape dub, but you never know.
This old embassy, it's got some really nice software on there.
Yeah, that's cool.
What you're looking for. Nothing.
Well, there's something on there.
And nothing. Yeah, we got to find out what's on there at some point.
Eject that one crappy movie you got on and throw it in.
You'll make fun of me for what's on here. It was blank. Do you ever label your tapes as blank?
No.
And then it's crossed out, and now it has Canadian.
You need to put
Idol.
your okay. You got it there, Canadian Idol. Why don't you do the thing where you put your finger on like this or something? No, guess it's
Anyways,
not
you size Canadian Idol.
Canadian Idol. You guys have Canadian Idols?
We did for a short little while.
Hmm.
For a short little while.
How'd that turn out? You get any big stars on the Canadian Idol?
No, it was awful. It was so bad. It wasn't worth the budget to create it. So, and it doesn't cost anything to make those shows.
Who were your judges? Were they all Canadian judges?
Yeah, really Canadian host.
Like Alan Thicke or what?
You know what? He might have been involved in it.
He had to be. He probably, come on. I mean, really, that's the only Canadian that comes to mind right off the bat.
This one's special. This is from my buddy Derek. You remember Derek?
Bill. Vaguely.
Late night NBC stuff on here.
Oh, nice. So you're getting like Letterman, Conan. What are you getting?
I don't know. We don't know. I can't wait.
If there was only a way to find out.
If only.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
like every tape.
You only had a VCR going there and a TV and all that. I mean,
oh, that's the Office going on back there. That was supposed to be Wizard of Oz.
Looks like they taped over it.
Oh,
well, maybe not, because if that's the Office,
promo.
that could be on TBS.
That's a promo.
I bet you this is like a TNT or TBS.
No, it says NBC in the corner. It's a promo for the Office.
Okay. They showed the Wizard of Oz. No, it's something else then, because I don't remember them showing the Wizard of Oz on NBC.
Yeah, no, it was just a snipe on the bottom, but it is NBC.
Yeah, Bill's tape is curling matches. That's a good point, Mikey. It's all curling.
Curling can be pretty wild. Let's be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the things I do tune in for during the Winter Olympics. I mean, it's so ridiculous, but it is funny that loser that's got to go in front with the little broom.
How about you ready for a little bit of tagline trivia?
You better be careful. I got some for you.
No, this isn't about me. I'm not the expert with a memory. You are. This will be easy for you. A streetwise priest defies the mafia.
Oh, that does sound really familiar, though. Streetwise priest defies the mafia. Damn, I feel like I know that.
This is cool because this is directed by, he's a big-time TV producer, Donald F. Belisario.
Streetwise priest. I'm going to be mad at myself. I know this one, but I can't come up with it, Bill. What is it?
Tom Berenger stars in this twisting tale of murder and deception about a priest who becomes involved with a woman on the run from the mafia.
Hold on. Is it a priest on the run? Mafia. Shit. It's right there, dude. I don't even think I've seen the movie, but I know which it is. Oh, that's making me mad. That Tom Berenger. I can see his stupid face. Marked for Death? I don't know. What is it?
No, it is
The Last Rites. I think
Look
I
at
have that in my garage.
picture.
I'm almost confident I have that sitting in the garage in a box.
Is that a cool cover or what?
Yeah, that's not bad. All right, I got one for you. Now, this is actually, you should, well, we're switching it around on you, Bill. You should know this because this is your biggest Canadian hero. All right. You ready? Granted unprecedented access, director Paul J's blank blank goes behind the tightly guarded walls of wrestling world of grand spectacle and theater. The film, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it's a documentary on wrestling. Come on. This is a big time. At the time, this was so unprecedented. I'll even give you a little more. Okay. Initially, Vince McMahon was cool with it, but at some point he realized they kind of switched it on him and he wasn't really thrilled. Which was like the second time McMahon got fucked on a documentary. But this, I'll even go any further. This has the greatest real story that really like a real thing, not the fake wrestling angle. Like they pulled a real shenanigans on this wrestler and fucked them out of the title when they told them they weren't going to do it. And it all played out right on TV. It's called the Canadian Screw Job or the Montreal Screw Job. All right. You've never heard of the Montreal Screw Job. It feels like you learned this shit in like kindergarten or something.
Is it Beyond the Mat?
No, but you're close. That is actually the one Vince was he actually sued to try to get them not to release it.
Thanks anyways, Mikey.
Yeah, I know. I saw him say it, but it isn't Beyond the Mat. And I knew you couldn't have came up with that. Come on, dude. You ready?
Yeah.
You're going to feel so stupid because this is your Canadian hero. So, Hitman Hart, Wrestling with Shadows. Look at Vince there. You think he looks happy?
So, Bret Hart is my Canadian hero?
He's like the unofficial president of Canada.
Okay. Yeah.
You've never heard of Bret Hart? Get out of here.
Yeah, I've heard of Bret Hart, but I don't care at all about him. I think that's even past when I was watching wrestling.
I feel like you could get deported for saying some shit like that. They're going to take away your sleep apnea machine. No, that's Chris Benoit.
Oh, Benoit Ball.
Go back to talking about Susan George. Hey, he's the one that went around. He's the one trying to fuck with me with these stupid, obscure movies.
You know them.
No, I was like 15-0, and then you're like, I got to get these B movies because he's making me look bad.
These are all gifts.
You ruined the whole gimmick.
These are gifts from my buddy Derek, by the way. He also gave me a 4-pack of Bronson movies. He knows I collect the Bronson.
I feel like Mrs. Derek is like, get some of this shit out of here. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to see Bill later this week.
Yeah. A couple of them are still sealed. Yeah, this is pretty cool, except I don't think they got very respectful releases, though, in here. Very little tape used, but otherwise, you got to take the Bronson. Now you got it.
Little known fact, Mikey, that's actually Bill's undercover porn name.
Who is the Blue Blazer?
That was Owen Hart. Isn't it right? Keep going. When he first came in, they didn't want him to be Owen Hart, so they put him in a mask and put this stupid blue outfit on him. And actually, that's actually how he died years later because his thing was kind of stagnant. They brought it back kind of like a gimmicky thing, and he was supposed to be coming down from the ceiling like he's flying and shit. And the little zip tie or whatever the hell, this quick release thing broke, and he came all the way down and died right in the ring. They have to teach you about that. That's like your guys' D-Day or something. That's like your 9. That's like your 9/11, right?
No, I heard about it. So who did you have that on you had it on tape, didn't you? A home
Yeah,
recording.
yeah,
you were-
because we were me and my former brother-in-law, we were watching it. We recorded it. We were watching the pay-per-view when it happened, and you immediately knew something was wrong because they were in this interview, and these guys looked like they were fucking crying and shit. Like they had been, like something was off, and then they come back and they threw it to the commentator and made him make the announcement, and he looked like he's shell shocked. And they're literally still taking this guy's dead body out of the ring while he's like, there was a serious accident, folks. Like this ain't bullshit, like.
Yeah, but the show went on.
Yeah, and they made these people wrestle on his blood stain. Like they didn't even change the mat, Bill. I mean, they might have went out there and scrubbed it a little bit, but you can still see blood stains in this ring.
Jesus.
His best friend, or at least at the time, like the guy who was with him a lot on the road, Jeff Jarrett, they made him go out and wrestle on this dude's blood. And now, of course, they said they gave him the option, but what was he going to say? No, But anyway, Go ahead. With no more wrestling talk, Bill.
Oh
Stop
my
with
God.
all that shit.
Derek gave me another copy of Tulsa. I already have a copy of this, but this is a different cover.
Well, you got to have a backup copy.
I'm curious what this movie is because I keep seeing it around. I saw it again today with another cover. I'm like, Tulsa again.
Now, is that supposed to be like Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I guess. And the label's a weird interior label. Just like
that's in Mikey's neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, this is also from Derek. Gave me a Rage Against the Machine tape.
What?
Yeah, is that up?
Why wasn't that in my box?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine in there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, decent amount of tape there.
Yeah.
And this is funny because I showed this tape on this show when I first got the huge whack of tapes, right?
Yeah.
You remember this tape?
I mean, I remember there was a lot of bad tapes in there, but yeah.
Oh, the Walks Far woman with what's her face?
No. Go ahead. You literally have it right in front of your face.
Raquel Welch. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Raquel Welch. And I tried watching it, and it is, because there's got to be some.
Well, there's some Native American titty in there, right? She's in. What is?
But it was
red face. I mean,
it was awful. It was awful. So I got rid of it, and then Derek was talking. He had a tape as well on his show, Not So Special podcast. I don't know. I made a comment about it, and so he stuck it in the box with the other stuff for me. So I got the tape back. So I have no choice but to keep it now and give it another chance. The Walks Far woman with.
So when did it end up on that one tape you put in? I see something playing up there. What is that? No, the one on the left.
This?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was NBC Late Night. So do you remember they did a special like 50 years of late night television, but it was everyone. It's when Conan had the Tonight Show. Right. So he's kind of hosting it, but it includes Letterman, and includes Leno, includes everybody. So big old documentary about
even
the history
Carson Daly.
Yeah, probably.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah. So
that's when you knew you were really like hungover and drunk, when it was like 2:30 in the morning and you're watching fucking Carson Daly.
Yeah, that I wasn't a fan of his version of.
No, he was terrible.
Yeah. So that's what that is. The 50 years of late night documentary. Oh, so yeah, there's the other piece of it. That's the
there you go.
That complete.
All right.
And
you owe him another $3.
Of course, one of the greatest masterpieces of cinema, because it's starring the man Bob Dylan himself, masked and anonymous. I found it on VHS. Everyone should have this movie. When he said, when it was announced that this movie was happening, all of Hollywood lined up to be in this movie for scale, for next to nothing, just to work alongside the man.
Oh, I'm sure. All
Sealed.
those huge stars on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of Hollywood lined up.
I don't recognize one person on that. Well, what is that? Yeah, I guess I know that one dude. What's that? Dennis Quaid or Kurt Russell? Who is that?
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff
John
Bridges.
Goodman,
There you go. Yeah, Goodman.
What's your face?
Yeah, I mean that usually tells you.
And then Ralph Wilson.
Oh, right, because that guy's top shelf.
What's her face?
Uh-huh.
Cheech is in here. There's so many
star-studded. You said, right?
There's a billion cameos. Oh, Michael Rourke.
They were all doing it to probably keep their good standings with SAG-AFTRA or something.
Once they heard they could work alongside the legend, they literally all lined up. Like there's a billion actors in this movie, and you get some live performances too.
Yeah, and like the last episode of Sopranos, AJ parks his car. He has a little SUV, and he's trying to, he's going to bone this chick.
Yeah,
and and they're listening to Bob Dylan. And you know what happens next? Poor AJ, he don't get laid. They set the thing on fire. So keep that in mind next time you have a lady over.
Okay.
Putting on Bob to burn your house down. He's not a.
That must be
a horrible selection.
That's my problem.
Right. That's not what you don't use Bob for the mood.
How about some Muppeteering? The Great Muppet Caper.
I don't remember seeing that one, and I did like the Muppets at that time. I liked the original Muppet movie, and I think I saw the space one maybe, but I don't remember that one.
You like this strip on here, right?
Oh yeah, that's a nice early first print CBS Fox, or not first, but it could be. It depends on if there was an magnetic or whatever. But
let's just say it like Chris Roberts does. This was a first printing. This is definitely a first printing.
It might be. But I mean,
it's not all bad. It's there.
Yeah.
Just,
like you got glue. Come on.
Portability. That's what that's about. And some Crawl.
Yeah. That's one of Duke's favorite movies.
I can't even remember anything about this movie.
I don't either. I wanted to watch it, and I bought a bunch of tapes, and that was in there. And that was there was like 50 tapes in this lot. And that's the only one that had mold. True story.
No mold. Should be fine. Should I keep pulling, or you want another turn there?
No, I mean, I told you I only got a couple things left, so go ahead.
This is good. We're working through this box here.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's going to pull in the clicks. Go for it.
Yeah, we got Conzi up there. He's talking about all the late night.
Okay.
This might be before he got the time.
I don't think Wizard of Oz is on that one because now it's all staticky and shit.
No, it's The Office. It just looks bad. That TV needs the fine tuning. Got to fine tune it. All right. We'll quickly go through some home records. Nothing. Don't know what's on that, but we can enjoy the box covers.
Now, Steve, that one you should pop in. That looks like it's got age to it.
This.
Yeah, anything with like rainbow vibes and everything, that's usually 80s.
Well, what's this say? You make that out?
Yeah, hold still. Symmetry, The Host. It's 3 movies.
Oh, Fox.
I don't know what the first one is. It's hard to see. Foca something. I don't know.
Foca.
I can't see. I don't know. It looked like it said Focus or Folk. I don't know. FOCA.
Feces.
I can't see it, man. It's as soon as it comes in, you move it away.
But yeah, there's your rainbow down there.
Yeah. Well, that was their way of letting you know it was in color. Yeah, it does look like Bill's handwriting. It might be porn. You're right. That's a good call.
Well, there's this it says X-Files here. Maybe it's
maybe that could have been the titles then.
Here's another weird box. It's a weird design. VCI?
That's not 80s.
VCI, you know about that one?
Never Canadian? Heard of it. No.
It's got to be good.
Oh,
more X-Files.
Oh, I mean, that's cool. If it's full of commercials, man, you scored.
What else does it say? It says something else there.
I think it's upside down. It's hard to tell. Let's see.
Please rewind.
Something record.
Please rewind.
Oh, it does say please rewind. You're right. Yeah, please rewind.
Better rewind it. Embassy, we know this box. Nothing on there. Another blank wild card. There's more Polaroid.
Now these are all from Derek.
No, these are part of. I don't think these are all.
Okay, I was gonna say,
we went through all the Derek stuff.
All right.
Oh,
what are we looking at here?
Fritz the Cat. That was the very first X-rated animated film.
You're gonna see a little bit of cartoon dicks and boobs.
Boobs for sure. Yeah. Oh, what else? What's this say? Santa and his helpers.
Yeah.
And Fritz the Cat.
Yeah, I don't know. Santa and his helpers porn too, or what?
Got Radio Shack tape. It's super high grade.
Yeah.
Super. Look at the price on that blank.
$26. $27. And you can save $3 with the rebate.
Oh man.
Wow.
And this says stuck in the suburbs.
Yeah. Well, Canadian school system.
Do you know what stuck in the suburbs is? That's what's on here.
No. Could be, who knows? Sounds terrible though.
Oh, this is also from Derek. This 9-inch nails tape.
Well, he was just dumping all the new metal on you.
He did try and sell this at the last game exchange, but for $5, no takers. So he gave it to me.
You should sell it for $5 and rub it in his face.
And then I'll end my turn with a movie that this is what they called Chris Roberts back in the day.
Oh, really?
Back in school, back in elementary school, he was known as the Tingler.
Tingler, huh?
Price. Do you know this one?
I haven't watched it, but I know it.
When the screen screams, you'll scream too if you value your life.
You know what? I might have watched that movie. Was that one of those movies, though, that they, when it was in theaters, they had the force feedback kind of shit? It's a Disney Channel movie. Oh, you know what? You might want to look up that because some of that stuff never made it beyond Disney Channel. That might be you might have some lost media there, Bill.
Really?
Maybe. I know there is a couple of those movies that have a really, I mean, maybe not on the blank circuit, but there was some like low, like only on VHS, so like, overall low numbers. And they never made it to the next. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think the Tingler had stuff like that where they scare the shit out of people.
Get out.
Yeah, during that time they were doing gimmicks. Like they would blow smoke in the theater if there was supposed to be smoke or whatever. They would do these weird shit to try to get you to go in there. They had a name for it. There was a particular director or maybe it's a film studio. Somebody used to really be into that shit. And I think the Tingler was one of them. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like that's true.
Huh.
Anyway, I did go thrifting a little bit today. I had to go to town I didn't have to, but I went for sushi. So I decided to hit some thrift stores that were in the area. That's the link. Okay. Found this. Now, if you saw that, would you just grab it, Bill?
No. And this is why you're you, Bill. Because this is the only way currently to watch the unaltered original trilogy
on DVD. Now, granted, obviously you can, download it and all that kind of crap, but you know what I mean? The prices aren't as what they used to be, but like you look on disc 2, it'll be original theatrical, so this is all unedited.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a story that I've heard. I'm not sure if it's true, but I felt like there was some sort of lawsuit involved. People were wanting it or something. I felt like Lucas was strong-armed into it because they're not actually great. They don't look good. Like they're kind of short, small on the TV and everything. It was a fuck you is what it was. But this is the only way to watch them on DVD, and like I said, unless you have other means. But it has all 3 of them.
That's cool. Fine.
Yeah, I actually have one already, but there was a time these were going for like $100. I think they're more like in the 30 range now. I think the hype is gone, but I got it for $3. So
transfers, no good?
Yeah, it is really bad. I tried watching it. It is neat though to watch. I put on A New Hope just to watch it and to see the original, title crawl without the New Hope shit, and it was kind of cool. Their original thing, but you are 100% correct, Kevin, but not everybody's going to do that. Plus, I mean, sometimes it's just about like the having it, right?
I don't know if we can have that movie on during our show behind you. There's going to be stuff.
Oh, is this coming up to boobs?
Well, soon at some point, it's definitely going to be.
Oh, all right. Well, I can take it out.
Not yet, but
that's all right. I'm going to lose track. I forgot if there was titty. I mean,
I'd be mesmerized by the Phoebe Cates, and I wouldn't be able to say anything to you.
Yeah, she was pretty hot. Let me see. Yeah, I'll pop this in. Oh shit, needs to be rewound. Anyway, yeah, I found that today for $3, so I grabbed it.
So, what do you think it's currently valued at?
Anywhere between 30 and 60. I think it just depends. I've watched a bunch of different. I looked it up and I read through a bunch of completed sales. There was some as high as 70 and there was some as low as 30. So, somewhere in between, kind of depending on who you're competing with and condition and all that. I'd be fine with $30 on this. I'm not trying to make a fortune off of it. But, if you wanted it, Bill, 35.
Okay.
You know what I mean? All right. This is my last thing I'm going to show. If you listen to our Mandela Effect episode on Retro Nonsense, I go into some of these different Mandela Effect things. Some of them I kind of feel are just silly, but then some of them kind of are weird, right? The biggest one being the Berenstein Bears. The biggest one being that, right? I think a lot of people remember it being Berenstein or Berenstein or whatever. And the Berenstain, I could tell you right now, I'd have fist fought you if before, when I first heard this, there'd have been no way I would have believed you. I would have thought for sure you were full of shit. I would have bet you anything. I'd have bet my house. You know what I mean? Because there's no way that that's not right. But there are what, and I'm not one, but there are what true believers refer to as artifacts. So one of the theories is, when CERN had its little meltdown, that it fucked us up, right? And it altered our timeline, and somehow these things that we remember certain ways, like the monocle on the Monopoly guy, or Jiffy instead of GIF, whatever, different spellings and all this stuff, right? That these people, or Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 90s. So they said that these people will fight you on. They believe it. And somehow none of this proof ever comes up. But this is a real tape. This isn't fake. There's no bullshit involved. I can show you someone else who owns the same tape. But
we've shown tapes on here that are Berenstain Bears. Remember, we went through them. Berenstain. You're
correct.
Like, I don't remember it being called that.
I don't remember it. Matter of fact, when I was a kid, I remember going, and you take you down to the library, right? And you get to pick out a book or whatever. There was this one book called what I remember it being the Berenstein Bears and the Spooky Old Tree. And they go through this old tree, and I don't know, it was like a little adventure show thing in this book, right? And I always dug it. It had a Halloween vibe and all that. And I still own that book to this day. And again, I would have swore it said Berenstain on it. So when you look at this tape, right off the bat, it says Berenstain, right? So, okay, that doesn't prove nothing, right? Berenstain there too. Berenstain there. I mean, even the people's last name, right, is Jan Berenstain.
Yeah.
Berenstain everywhere. Now, this is something, if you're going to try to go through eBay searches, anybody who's watching, this is the tip I'll give you. And I know this because I've looked through probably 500 tapes over the last year or so. And I was looking for this exact thing, and I only found it once. There was a couple of completed sales that I missed out on, and they all had the same markings. So the first marking would be, you want to make sure it says 1985 right there, right? So it has 85, and the last one would be 88. 85, 86, 88. So those are the trademarks. Now, that doesn't necessarily that doesn't lock it in yet, but that is part of no. But what I've noticed, this is the thing. Now, granted, I think it's a sticker, so it could come off. But if this sticker's on, and it's the original tape that went to this, and it didn't get switched around, you're gold. And what I've noticed is this Made in Mexico sticker is the difference. So if it has the Made in Mexico sticker on the bottom, you're going to find the tape. Now, you pull it out, and there again, it still says Berenstain Bears. And you're just like, okay, well, where's the fucking payoff? And you turn it this way, and there it is. It's fucking weird. Now, why would it be? And it's a real label. There's nothing fake about it. I could show you the eBay listing. I bought it for like $1.50 or whatever. The seller probably thought I was crazy because they showed every angle of the tape, but this one. And I knew it was it, but I would feel like, well, what if it's not it? I don't want to buy it just to not do anything with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just throw it away. So I was like, hey, can I get some more pictures? And I was like, I need pictures of the other. I told him, like, the side label. I just want to make sure it's there. And can you send me a picture? Oh, yeah. He was very thoughtful. Oh, I will do it. So he was supposed to do it on a Monday because I asked him on a Friday. And I guess it was at his shop or whatever. I'll do it Monday morning. Okay, cool. Now, I actually forgot about it. And Monday night came around. He goes, listen, I'm really sorry. I forgot to do it, but I'm going to send it to you in the morning. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So then he sends me the pictures, and this is what he sends me. So I'm like, no, dude. No, it's like actually on the tape. And, I'm trying to dance around it because, I don't want him to see it and think like it's worth more. But this guy obviously didn't give two shits. He didn't care. He goes, oh, I'm really sorry. And, and there it is. Original label. And it just makes no sense why it says this on the same tape that it says that. And this was a former rental too. So, I mean, this made it through all the rental, thousands of videos in Casper, Wyoming. And, but yeah. So if you find the Made in Mexico tape with all those dates and,
So you were hassling this guy for that many days over $1.25 tape?
I only asked him once, and then when he came back with the wrong pictures, then I asked him twice. So if you call that hassling,
$1.25.
Well, but I mean, it was still $4 media mail shipping, but the guy didn't make no money on it.
$4.
I'm totally losing. And how do we get to George here? What's happening? Hi, Curtis. Go ahead. Read Curtis's comment here.
About that, why it changed from Berenstain to Berenstain.
Oh, his wife. Oh, okay. Maybe.
So at some point.
So you're saying George Berenstain, and then they changed it to Berenstain?
Yeah. So
if that's true, then great. But why? Where's all the stuff? It's hard to find this stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's not true because I really feel like all these Mandela effects come from things like that, right?
Yeah.
Like the Luke, I'm your father. It's the no, I'm your father. And you just remember it, Luke, I'm your father, because everybody who repeated it probably said Luke, I'm your father, because they want to make sure it's a Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
Like I get how these things happen. I truly do. But this is just a weird one. And if that's the answer, that's a great answer. I haven't heard that.
It must just been reissued so much that all the originals.
I know, dude, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to find, dude. And I've gone through tape and I don't come across a lot of Berenstain Bears shit. But the books, I mean, you type in Berenstain Bears and there'll be, 10,000 listings on eBay and none of them will say it. You go through all of them, none of them say it. So it's weird. It's weird, man. And maybe they had a real low production run, but either way, the fact that one label says that and one says that is just, well, maybe these were old labels, and that could make sense.
No, man, that's a great artifact right there.
Yeah, but I think it's just cool to have. You know what I mean? Plus, it's got a cool little rental sticker label on there. Look at this, boy. That thing's seen some better days, huh? Anyway, that's it, man. That's all I got.
I still got more.
Okay. Well, thanks for everybody who tuned in. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you, Curtis.
Thanks, Mikey. It is a cool tape, man. I hope if anybody you guys out there hunting for it, that helps you out. I will give a shout out to Lunch Meat, because when he made his post, like, I don't know, maybe a year ago, he didn't focus in on that, but I did catch that on the back because I was trying to find the exact same cover. And I did notice that is the thing. If it says made in Mexico, and because there was 2 completed sales that had it, and they both had the made in Mexico, and so did his, and so does this one. So if you're looking for it and you can't get good pictures or the seller's not responding or whatever, and you want to roll the dice, if it's cheap, then I think that's the hallmark to look for. Mr. Prepared over there. Thought you had your tapes.
I did. Well, I'm like, I know there's this tape I've been wanting to show for a while, but I couldn't. It wasn't in this box, but there's another box underneath this box.
Okay.
There's so much to go through.
Uh-huh.
I got this big lot of the dirtiest, grossest tapes I've had in a long time. I got them for free. And it was, as you would say, you have your sketchy part of town. I went to my sketchy part of town to get this big bag of gross tapes. So it's probably 75 tapes, and I managed to pull out like maybe 10 of them. And so that's what we're going to look at. But the one thing that caught my eye, actually, when I said it was free, and she kept through the whole exchange, because they were in a tote. But she's like, I'm keeping the tote, and I need that tote. And I'm like, yes, you can have the totes, no problem. And so as we're transferring tapes, she's telling me all these stories. She just needs money, single mother, but she can't sell these. No one wants them. So in the end, I had to be a nice guy and give her a $5 for
big spender. Poor kids can't eat. They can't get school clothes, and
get a Big Mac tonight. It's on me. Thank you for the tapes, but they were gross. But this one caught my eye right off the bat. Switcheroo. Curse of the Devil.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, you ever seen that one?
I have not. Well, I mean, I like that cover though. That's a killer cover. It looks like a werewolf movie, I guess. I mean, that looks like some child drew it, but I mean, look at that, dude. That's a pretty cool tape, dude. I love the pentagram and all. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, I think
that's made in the USA too, dude. Come on, kicks it up a notch. Doesn't have those flags on it.
Yeah, but I think I looked this movie up, and I think it's like Mexican or something, or Ecuadorian or something like that.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't discriminate.
There's the label.
You should pop it in and see if it has some really bad dubbing.
It's that same label as that other, it's a Tingler, that label?
Yeah.
No, we saw it before though.
Oh, one of your porn tapes?
Yeah. But they're not the cleanest tapes. I did clean them up.
Now, are you smelling cigarettes or anything? Or it's just...
Oh, No, that's just like mildew and
That's a shame. I will say there is a technique I've used on one that I had a rare tape that had a bad smell to it. And I got like a box, right? And I put the tape, I took the tape out and the cover and I set it on the table. And I got a little bowl of like white vinegar. And I put them both next to each other and I stuck this box on top of it and left it there for like a day. And then after that, I let it air out for a couple days and it worked. It had the worst. I mean, the tobacco smell on it was so strong. It was in my trunk. And I could smell it in the car. Like it was, infecting my car. And I'm like, oh shit.
This could be like really old, stale tobacco, and
it might
just
be
that like basement.
But if you really want to try it, if you got any white vinegar around, stick it out in your garage, put a little bowl, like you don't put it on it, obviously. It's just about it being in the same thing. Somehow it's a stink neutralizer. And you might use that for your,
That's a good idea. Throw a box of baking soda in there too. Just why not? Have two things working.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I use vinegar on everything anyway, so I got lots of vinegar. Use it in the dishwasher and the washing machine.
Yeah. Vinegar, huh?
Yeah. Instead of fabric softener, use vinegar in the washing machine. It'll help your washer instead of destroying it like fabric softener does.
Okay, but does it make your clothes smell different? Isn't that the point of fabric softener? Well, it's about softening it too, right?
Yeah. So fabric softener distributes like a wax amongst your clothes, which dulls down the static and all that, but it also fills up your machine with a waxy byproduct.
What about the dryer sheets? You got a conspiracy against those?
Yeah, you really shouldn't use those either. Same thing. It's distributing wax, but you can use dryer. I use cotton dryer balls, but they don't really work. I just use one sheet. One sheet. Give me one bit of luxury in my life.
Yeah, I just put a sheet in.
One sheet. I just grabbed this because I don't know, the way the cover looks is kind of cool, like old newsprint style or something.
It's pretty cool.
You know what I mean? Then this is regular photo back here, but this is like newsprint style.
Is that John Wayne or who is that?
Henry Fonda, Robert Shaw.
Oh, Robert Shaw.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bulge. Man, that used to be shit my grandpa would watch. And he, like on Saturdays or something, he'd be watching all these old war movies. I'd get out of Dodge. And once the Saturday afternoon kicked in, I was a little kid, dude. I didn't want to sit around and watch fucking John Wayne fight the Nazis in Japan. Well, it's usually the Japanese, right? They'd be fighting. I didn't need that shit.
Richard Harris and the return of the man called Horse. You know why they called him Horse, eh?
I don't want to know.
I remember hearing about this movie. I don't know anything about it, so I thought. Did I lose everybody?
I'm back. No, I think it was me.
Holy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think I don't know. Something went weird.
Why'd that knock me off?
I don't know. Maybe it was it probably wasn't me. It was probably the site then.
Oh, yeah. Do you read
knocked us both off? It was the site then. Go ahead.
You read a lot of VC Andrews?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Got some flowers in the attic.
Oh, yeah. Flowers in the attic. Is that about an abusive mom or something?
I don't know. It shocked 4.5 million readers, though. Really?
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't know. Did that have Mommy Dearest vibes or something? I don't remember. I think I remember like my mother and her friends talking about that movie.
Yeah. Wasn't it a TV movie too?
Or it was shown on it, one or the other. But Sarah likes that movie. What's the plot? Is it an abusive movie? What kind of movie is it, Kevin?
4 innocent children locked in a deserted north wing of the family mansion, beaten by a vicious grandmother.
Yeah, that's what I see. It was a child abuse movie. Yeah. That's what I thought I remembered. I couldn't remember the whole thing, but I just remember, like, I'd link it to Mommy Dearest kind of thing. It feels like it's the same type of shit.
What about the Walking Tall movie? You remember that movie?
I mean, yeah, that one douchebag walking around with a 2x4.
Did you know that was like a series?
The Walking Tall series? Like, how many people did he have to beat up?
I don't know, but there's part 2.
What was his name? Like Bubba something? Or
this was Bo Sevenson.
Is that the character's name? No, the character's name, not the actor.
Oh, I don't know who.
Well, it should say right there on the back. You're
Mr.
looking
Lumber.
right at it. Yeah, you can't read.
The Saga of Tennessee Sheriff Buford Pooser.
Yeah, Buford. There you go. Buford. Pooster. I knew he had one of those stupid names.
Look at this action shot.
Oh, shit. Dude, that dude's going to kick his ass. He better hope that took him out. That's a tough fucking son of a bitch. Look at that mustache.
And we keep that wood with us all the time. That looks like more like Chris Christopherson there.
Yeah. Did you watch the Rock remake of it?
I don't think I did.
I didn't either. But I was just kind of curious. I hate when they remake movies like that. It's like, who gives a shit?
But this is from Lightning Video.
That's fucking cool. I would have grabbed those just for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I did. I said,
yeah, I know that's pretty cool. Plus, I wouldn't mind watching those movies. Check them out. There's got to be some funny stuff in there.
Yeah, you're right. No, this is a cool cover though. Like,
I told you about the time I'm watching like this old gangster movie, right? And one of the cops come in there and he's just like wrecking shop, hey, you get over there and you get over there. Like, he has this gun in his hand, and at first he's pointing it at the bad guys. You get over there and you shut up and sit down and listen to me, blah, 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 blah. Then at some point, the fucking actor forgets nobody's paying attention. Obviously, the director, cameraman, nobody's watching this shit because he's just like rubbing the gun on his head and, and you know what I mean? And he's not doing it intentionally. It's just the actor completely forgetting they're holding a fucking gun.
Yeah.
And he's like pointing it at the girl, like, oh yeah, you, yeah. Hey buddy, come over here. Now it's just his finger now. And he's holding his gun the whole time. And it was just hilarious. So I imagine there's some scenes in that Walking Tall where, he forgets he's carrying a 2x4 and smacks someone in the head by accident.
Well, so unfortunately, I guess that means I got to find the first one, right? And part 2, and then the final chapter. The first one must just be called
Walking Tall. Yeah,
why didn't they have the first one?
Well, and maybe somebody bought the first one and left the other 2 behind.
I got to find it by lightning too to make it.
Yeah, well, if they released it.
I grabbed this just because of the way they advertised it. This movie's called The Big Trees. But, we've talked about before how transfers on VHS, early ones got really good transfers. Like Tarantino would talk about how the light emulsion on a VHS is like perfectly replicated on a VHS compared to digitally processed. It's like exactly how you would see it on screen. The light emulsion is how it would be presented on a VHS tape. And these guys make it a point to say it's mint 35 millimeter film transfer.
Oh, that's cool. There was a real push early on, especially those late 70s, early 80s tapes where they really wanted they were really trying to sell this format. So they were trying to give you, at the time there was nothing else. I mean, they were competing with Beta and all that, but they were trying to make the best releases. This is before it was like, let's just get this shit in a Kmart,
Yeah. But as they talked about, as I said in the Video Archives podcast, the early VHS, it was like film, right to VHS. Nothing happening in between there. Exact transfer. So they're so concerned with telling you the quality of this tape that they put so much effort into the label here.
Yeah, well, they spent all the money on the cover. You think writing mint on there is cheap, Bill? That's a lot of ink.
All right. You still got time for me here? We doing
Yeah,
all
go
right?
for it, man.
Okay.
We got about what about 10 minutes? 9 minutes.
I wonder if this is tagline trivia time.
Just carry on. Let's go.
Okay. This is the Deceivers. Look at that
This
picture.
is the bullshit that this guy tries to
Look at
get
this.
me with. The Deceivers.
An enthralling, erotic action drama.
Is that James Bond there?
It looks like it, eh?
Yeah, is that Bronson?
Yep, Pierce Bronson.
Bronson? Is that guy in the back like in is that a white guy looking like an oh that's the guy in the front too? Is he I don't even know what face it would be, but is he cultural appropriation there or what's going on?
Yeah, I guess they're saying he did some disguise work. I like this whole eye thing. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Might have to check that out. What's this look like in here? Oh, it's got the big label. You don't have to worry about rewinding it anymore. They crossed that out.
They covered that part. You're good.
And they erased all the Be Kind rewind notes.
They're like, you don't need to rewind this shit no more.
No more.
You don't want to rewind it, don't worry about it. What's the video store on the side there? Other side.
It's a warning.
Oh, that's not fun.
Violation of this label will provide evidence of internal tampering. But don't worry about the rewind. Have you ever seen that before? Them taking the effort to erase the.
I've seen a lot of dumb shit, dude. People are so OCD. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh yeah, the smell is getting to me here. So, yesterday, famous director Billy Friedkin passed away.
Yeah,
French Connection. Look at that cover.
Now, we're a little spoiler alert. If anybody's still here, we're going to. When I say we, me and Duke, Retro Nonsense here, our next episode, we're gonna talk about sequels. Maybe some of our favorite sequels, some of our least favorite sequels. I'm trying not to go with all the obvious, but I mean, we will briefly touch those as well. But what's your thoughts on sequels? You like the French Connection too?
The French Connection too, you say?
Yeah, I do say. Fox? Yeah.
How'd you know that was coming?
Oh, I mean, come on. You teed me up for it.
What cover's better here?
Yeah, I kind of like the guy getting shot, but both of them are good covers, though. At the time, right? Wasn't that one of the most expensive car chases ever filmed or something like that? I mean, there's something, or was it the most dramatic, or there was something to it, right? Or the longest or something? I remember there being
the most exciting. The argument is French Connection or Bullet. Which is the better chase? And that's.
And which one do you think is better?
Well, Bullet, because there's more cars to look at. This is car versus train, elevated train. So it's chilling and exciting and dangerous, but
I see.
Car versus car is more fun to me.
Yeah.
McQueen, like, come on.
So the whole thing, I remember watching part one a long time ago. I don't remember a lot about it. I need to rewatch those. It's about heroin, right? Isn't that the connection?
Yeah,
they're busting heroin dealers or whatever.
Yeah, there's a pipeline.
Yeah,
from Europe to America.
Mm-hmm.
If I recall, they traveled to Paris for this one, and it's not as as gritty, not as good.
Okay, so would you put that on your favorable sequel list, or do you feel like it's overrated, underrated, correctly rated? What do you think about that sequel?
Well, probably correctly rated. I don't think people really talk about the French Connection 2 that much. Would you say?
All right, so then would you say it's underrated then? Or you think the fact that no one's talking about it is the right move?
Yeah, it's right where it should be. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know who directed the sequel. They're not even saying. Oh, here it is. Story by.
You know, a movie I do want to see by that dude is that Sorcerer movie. I've been looking for it.
Oh, this is directed by Frankenheimer. So
Right, he does that and what Exorcist and
Ronin.
else, right? Yeah. Yeah, Ronin was okay.
I like Ronin. I don't know why it's
It was
getting.
okay. It was okay.
That's a car chase.
All right.
What were you saying? I interrupted.
No, I was saying I want to see the movie that he did that's got old Schneider in it. Was it Schneider? You know, the guy from Jaws.
Yeah.
Roy?
Yeah.
Roy? Yeah. Yeah. He's in that movie, The Sorcerer. I don't know much about it. I don't know if it's horror or action or fucking supernatural or whatever, but that guy directed it. And I've seen it pop up on my timeline a few times, and I've been looking for it prior to that. And
yeah, I haven't seen that either.
I haven't, but the fact that Snyder's in it is a Snyder, right?
Yeah,
right.
Roy Scheider
is a Scheider. Yeah, I knew I was saying it wrong. I don't know. Scheider, that fucking guy with the nose.
The nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
In the book, what's his face's character? The guy, Paul Newman, right? Isn't it Paul Newman?
Are we talking French Connection still?
No, I'm the Jaws right now.
Oh, Jaws?
Right. Who's is it
Roy Scheider?
Right. And
the captain, you mean?
No, the other guy.
Oh, Richard Dreyfuss?
Richard Dreyfuss. There you go.
Paul Newman, Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, they're the same guy to me. In the book, that guy's character was actually having an affair with Snyder's wife.
Ooh.
But they thought like it would make the movie too messy, so they cut it all out.
Good choice.
Another weird thing that because I don't really read books. If I do, they're not usually big novels and shit, or they're wrestling. But another cool thing is I was watching this video that was talking about this stuff that were in these side books of The Godfather, and how the white guy that they take in The Godfather, what's his face?
His consigliere?
Yeah. Okay.
Robert.
Yeah, not Duvall. I was thinking about the character's name, but yeah, Robert Duvall's character.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tom Hagen, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So they take him in, and then they make this reference like, oh, he was just this poor kid on the street that Sonny brought home, right?
Yeah.
But the real backstory, or the backstory that they created, was the reason he was a poor kid on the street was his dad was a degenerate gambler, and Don Vito and Comenza and Tessio killed him. They had him in this room because he owed them a big debt, and they were just like wailing on him, beating the shit. They beat him to death. But the reason, what makes the story a little interesting is, at this point, the Sonny, right, was kind of interested in what was going on with his dad, so he decided to follow him to work, right? And he was looking through a little window, and he saw the action going down, and so then when he brought the kid, I don't know, I just found it was kind of a fascinating backstory for Tom.
Well, I'm surprised Hollywood hasn't picked that up to.
Well, I think they were talking about a movie that they were working on, but then it didn't fall through. And I rewatched Godfather 3 last night. Nah, it's still okay. There's some good scenes. That's what sucks about it. There's a couple scenes that pull you in, and I'm like, oh, okay, this feels like Godfather, and then there's all this other shit. Too much nepotism too. That guy with his fucking daughter in there, and
Sophia.
Scorsese's mom makes an appearance, and there's all kinds of weird nepotism actor choices, and it's like, and then it's Pacino's hair. It's so distracting. It's like he's got this spiky hairdo going on. It's like, dude, comb your hair. Like, what's happening here? He must have felt real self-conscious about his hairline, because I don't even think that's real hair. I feel like there's some plugs or a wig going on, because the more you look at it, the less likely it looks like it's his real hair. It's very distracting. But I don't know. It was okay. And it was so cliche too, because they did all the same shit. It had the big montage murder thing at the end, and I don't know. He overacted, and in some point, it's like he don't even feel like Michael Corleone. It just felt like Al Pacino. You know what I mean? No, she is great in Goodfellas, and I mean she was fine in Godfather 3. It was a very small cameo, but I'm just saying it's like them shoehorning all these people in, you know. And the fact that Duvall didn't even want to be in it, they offered him like $1 million to be in it at the time, which was a big payday, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good." So they brought in that George Hamilton guy, which honestly, that character kind of grew on me. I don't feel like it's a bad character. It's okay.
You needed to have Tom, though.
No, I agree. But they was working with that. Well, they couldn't force it. It's better than them recasting. I mean, I'd rather them just have a different actor playing a different character than recasting. You know what I mean?
Well,
because they did a good thing of bringing back all the original. Like, I mean, the bulk of the original cast is all there. The sister, Kate, Al, you know. They kind of bring Tom back because his son is he's helping him become a priest or whatever. So you kind of get that. But what's his face's daughter? I know she's a really good director now, Sophia, whatever the hell her name is. Gosh, she's a terrible actress.
Yeah.
It's really hard to watch her.
He said his other actresses just fell through, and
I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. You tell me all of Hollywood, they couldn't have found a better actor. She is not good. I mean, there's a couple of scenes. There's a couple of scenes with her and Al that I felt were okay. You know, like there's a kitchen scene where she's questioning whether or not, you know, he's really wants her to be part of this thing, or he's just using her as a prop. And I thought she was good. But man, her and the cousin that she's trying to bang, there's no chemistry in those things. He's great. He's awesome. He's the highlight of the movie. I love all his scenes are awesome. When he's flipping out, like, it goes a little over the top, but I mean, he's supposed to be Sonny's kid and hothead. So it kind of makes sense. But anyways, I won't be talking about Godfather 3 on this episode. So I felt like I needed to get it out now. I was wondering if I was going to be able to make the argument, you know. Yeah, listen, I wasn't trying to, I'm just saying, I don't know enough about her body of work. I know she did that one movie with the Ghostbuster, you know, that was good. I guess it got acclaimed, you know. But anyway, I don't know. Whatever she's done. But you're right. Godfather 3 is terrible. And I really wanted to like it. You know. And I remember the first time I watched it, I heard it was so bad. I did like it the first time I watched it because my expectations were in the dirt. You know what I mean? I thought this got to be the worst movie ever. And the first time I watched it, I thought, I was really I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy who plays Sonny's kid, I think his name is Vincent or whatever. Not the actor, but the character. He's the highlight for sure. He drew me in, like him when he's murdering that Sasso guy and on the horse during that parade. You know, the crazy thing is, you know, I rewatched 2 and 3, and you start to see, I mean, I kind of noticed them, you know, originally, but you really start to see all these homages in The Sopranos to these, like, so many recreated moments and scenes. And I just think that it's brilliant because, like I said, I'm just fresh off of rewatching the whole Sopranos series. And, you know, and I pop in, you know, Godfather 2, and I'm just like, oh, yeah. You know, that's that one scene, and that's that, you know, it's kind of cool, all these little Easter eggs. Godfather 1 and 2, man, I really recommend them, and it's really hard to tell which one's the better movie. I mean, if you say it's 1, I'm not going to argue with you. If you say it's 2, I won't argue with you. I mean, to me, I just consider them one movie. I can't really, it's like Kill Bill 1 and 2, you know. Yeah. Even though I prefer 2, but I still think of it as just one movie, you know, because it's one story.
As you've said before, I'd like to see that version where that's all timeline.
I have it. It's called The Godfather Saga. You can get it on VHS, and it's awesome because they take all the scenes and they put it in order, and then at the end they tack on part 3. You could just stop it at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. You just stop it after Fredo's killed, and that's the end of the movie. You know, like that's where you stop the movie, right? But leading up to that, it starts with all the young Vito, and then you got the De Niro stuff, and then it goes into Godfather Part 1, and they take all the deleted scenes, because like there's a scene where Michael goes back to Italy and kills the guy who killed Apollonia, but he also kills a couple other guys. He blows up this dude in New York. He has the Federico or whatever. He ends up going to New York and opening a pizza parlor called Freddy's Pizza or Fred's Pizza or something, and he has him blown up in a car bomb. So he gets all this little revenge. Like, they're really good scenes. And I mean, granted, the Godfather movies are long, so I mean, things had to be cut, but it is surprising because I feel like those scenes are worthy of the movie. I didn't see anything that I would have left out. I just thought, man, this is good. I mean, I don't know why, but I guess it was kind of like pacing, probably. You know, there's like, well,
yeah, they're afraid of the
kind of just probably, and make it a little shorter. They, you know, I mean, shit, that was a tall task to have someone sit in the movie theater for 3 hours. I mean, it still is, but it seems like it's getting a little more acceptable. But I don't know, man. It's a long time to sit in a theater.
When you bring up Godfather 3 to Duke, he will call it the most expensive film ever made.
Yeah.
So that's our time, folks. That's good. I'm looking forward to the Retro Nonsense sequel talk. If you need a spare guest,
yeah, well, we'll see. We don't really have guests on the show, but never know.
If you need someone who can't remember actors' names or character names, just to jump in.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll phone a friend. I don't know how hard it would be for him to do it, because the way he does it, man, is kind of archaic. We record our own audio on our own end. We talk on the phone, and we're recording it on our computers, and he's recording it on an iPad, I think. I mean, it works, I guess. I haven't heard anybody say they didn't like it, so he does a good job splicing it.
Sounds labor intensive, but
well, he likes it and he's doing it, so I ain't bitching. I mean, great job, Duke. If you tune in right now, Duke, it's awesome. But you have another partner that does all the work. Well, I have one that does good work. But
Duke's great. But if he wants to look into StreamYard, they now offer it where both ends can record themselves and you can do it offline. So it might be
you know what? He does it, and I'm fine with whatever he does. It's not that hard. All I got to do is save it and put it in I drop it into the Google Drive or whatever, and next thing I know, there's a podcast. So
yeah, cool.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Thanks, Kevin and Curtis and any lurkers out there. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
I hope Bill didn't bore you. I try my best with Bill, you know.
Look at the pile of crap we went through.
Crap is right.
Well, and it's good. Well, some stuff I did just keep just to show you on the show.
No, that is cool, though.
But now I can get rid of some stuff, so that'll be good. And
well, if you're going to keep those smoky tapes, take my advice. You say you're stocked up on vinegar.
I'm going to do that for sure. I think I have a big Tupperware too. I can stuff them all in.
Yeah, it'll work.
That's a good idea. There's still a couple tapes to go over next time we do a show too. Mm-hmm. Still, God, it'd be nice if I can just get rid of it.
Maybe we'll have Kevin on talking about his VHS collection. So
I'm just going to show him quickly so I can say we're done. Oh, bonus material. Here's the 4. Whoop. You got Rod Steiger in the Pawnbroker. I love Rod Steiger. We all know that. A Merle Haggard double shot. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, Merle.
And that's on K-Tel, 2 people.
Oh, K-Tel. Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
And Paul Newman. We were talking about Paul Newman, Fort Apache, the Bronx.
Paul Newman.
And they don't want you to know where that came from.
Well, that was probably someone's personal address.
And you do not want to know. It's Vestron, though. That's cool.
You can actually get that off. You use a dry erase marker, and you go back over it, and then you rub it off with like a baby wipe, and it'll come off.
No, I don't believe you.
Try it. Definitely on the cover. Maybe not so much on the tape because that's more paper, but it'll come off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Chris Roberts, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for being here, buddy. I love talking to you. It was a good time. Don't forget to subscribe to his podcast, Retro Nonsense, with my buddy Duke. That'll be good. Yeah. Myself, there's STC podcast. That's happening all the time, folks. All the time.
Yeah, it's amazing how many of you guys are recording now.
Yeah.
You went from being off for like 2 years to.
It's very busy. In fact, I'm not allowed to talk to Joe at work about anything because he says save it for the show. So I'm like, what do we do? Stare at each other now for 12 hours? Like,
yeah. And you know what? I think that's the reason he's doing the podcast so much, because he's just like, fucking guy at work. I can't get nothing done. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll give him an hour after work.
There you go. So check that out. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. VHS. Now it's time to get into it. Go for it. Have some fun. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button.
Yeah, please.
Got
And
lots of
share
stuff.
this with your grandmother or something.
There you go. All right.
Put it on Facebook.
Good. We're good.
Yeah. I mean,
You good?
what are you waiting?